Hi, I'm Sophia.
And I'm Maya.
Today, we're learning how to talk about art and culture in English, clearly and confidently. Art and culture are very common topics in conversations, exams, and interviews. So let's start with a simple question. What is art? Art is a form of creative expression. Creative expression means showing your thoughts, feelings, or ideas in a creative way. There are different types of art. The first type is visual art. Visual art is art that you can see, for example, paintings, drawings, sculptures, and photography. A sculpture is a three-dimensional artwork made from materials like stone, metal, wood, or clay. Three-dimensional means it has height, width, and depth, not flat like paper. The second type is performing arts. Performing arts include music, dance, and theater. These are art forms performed in front of an audience. Audience means the people who watch or listen to a performance. Another type is literary art. Literary art includes poetry, novels, short stories, and drama. And today, we also have digital art. Digital art is created using computers, tablets, or software. For example, graphic design, animation, and digital illustrations. Now let's talk about paintings. When describing a painting, we often talk about style. There are different styles. One style is realistic. Realistic art looks like real life. For example, a realistic portrait looks exactly like the person. A portrait is a painting of a person. Another style is abstract. Abstract art does not look realistic. It uses shapes, colors, and lines to express ideas or emotions. There is also Impressionism. Impressionism focuses on light and color and gives an impression of a scene rather than detailed realism. We can also describe paintings using color tones. Bright colors are strong and vivid. Soft tones are light and gentle. Dark tones create a serious or dramatic mood. Mood means the feeling that the artwork creates. For example, peaceful, dramatic, mysterious, cheerful, or emotional. Now let's talk about museums and art galleries. A museum is a place where historical, scientific, or artistic objects are displayed. There are different types of museums. For example, an art museum displays paintings and sculptures. A history museum shows artifacts from the past. An artifact is an object from history, like ancient tools or traditional clothing. A gallery is usually a space that displays art for viewing or selling. When we visit a museum, we might say, "This exhibition is impressive." An exhibition is a public display of artwork. Now let's move to culture. Culture includes traditions, customs, language, food, clothing, music, and values of a group of people. A tradition is something people have done for many years, passed from one generation to another. A custom is a common way of behaving in a society, for example, greeting elders respectfully. There is also the word heritage. Cultural heritage means traditions, buildings, and practices that are important in a country's history. Some cultures are described as diverse. Diverse means having many different types. For example, a city with people from many countries is culturally diverse. Let's talk about traditional and modern culture. Traditional culture includes folk music, classical dance, and handmade crafts. Folk music is traditional music from a particular region. Classical music is more formal and structured, often performed with instruments like the violin or piano. Modern culture includes pop music, contemporary art, and digital media. Contemporary means modern and current. Now let's compare. You can say traditional art is more detailed than modern art. This is a comparison. Detailed means having many small features or decorations. Minimalist art, on the other hand, has very simple designs with fewer details. Another important topic is cultural exchange. Cultural exchange means sharing ideas, traditions, and art between different countries. But sometimes people experience culture shock. Culture shock means feeling confused or uncomfortable in a new culture. For example, different food habits or communication styles can cause culture shock. Now let's discuss art as expression. Art can express emotions like happiness, sadness, anger, or hope. There is also symbolism. Symbolism means using an object to represent a deeper idea. For example, a dove often symbolizes peace. Interpretation means understanding art in your own way. Different people may interpret the same painting differently. Art can also raise awareness about social issues. Raise awareness means making people more informed about a problem. For example, some artists create artwork about environmental protection or human rights. Technology has also influenced art. Today, artists use digital platforms and virtual galleries to share their work online. Innovation means introducing new ideas or methods. Digital art is a result of innovation in technology. Now let's express opinions. You can say, in my opinion, art is essential for society. Essential means very important or necessary. You can also say, from my perspective, cultural diversity makes a country stronger. Perspective means point of view. When debating, you can say, on the other hand, to introduce a different idea. For example, modern art is creative. On the other hand, some people find it difficult to understand. So today, we learned about types of art, museums, culture, traditions, modern influences, and useful vocabulary. Try to describe a painting you like or a cultural tradition from your country using the words we discussed today. And remember, art and culture help us understand the world better and express ourselves more confidently in English. We'll see you in the next episode of our Learn English Conversation series.